Because right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the Fan Cave. This is our place of operation every single night of the week, beginning at 10:35. Live right here on Pittsburgh CW, and also simulcast on 93.7 The Fan. Bob Pompeani, joined by Chris Mueller, who's up at 93.7 The Fan, and Andrew told me today that you were potty training. Not you, but you were potty training your son today. I give you a lot of high marks for that. It's a very important function.
I heard that exchange actually on the air. I wasn't in the car much today to catch much of the show, but I did hear that exchange, and Andrew's sort of ripping me like it takes a whole week. I'll get it right out there, Bob. It's been a bust. You know why? The kid is on strike from doing number 2. He has suddenly decided to hit a phase where he's just not going to do it under any circumstances. So in that situation, that's like saying, oh, you got 4th and 18 backed up at your own 2-yard line. Just dial up your 19-yard play. We got nothing. Alex and I are just punting every single time here.
Well, it eventually will happen. Unfortunately, it'll probably be 4 in the morning, and you'll have a mess on your hands. But that's okay. That's all part of this as well. Get ready for a long night. So, Chris, we had John Clayton on. I was sitting there as just for a couple of hours while you weren't. It was a good opportunity, and I enjoyed it.
He was very excited to talk to you, too, because he said Munchak and He said he's the best, he's the absolute best, just like the pairing of Pony and Pompeani. I saw that, too. He was throwing shade at me because I'm anti-Big Ben, and John never liked that about me.
Oh, see, well, anyway, I thought it was interesting about the Mike Munchak. He was absolutely 100% on board with that, to the point where he said make him the highest paid guy if need be. First of all, I didn't expect Chris Morgan to come to this decision this quickly. I thought this may linger for a while, but now that it is, and he is with the offensive line coach of the Bears, what are the chances? To me, it's got to be, close to, I would say 85% that he's going to come here if he wants to coach again. Where would be a better opportunity for him right now?
I mean, you say better opportunity. One, you have to go with places where there's a vacancy, and I frankly haven't been studying up on how many other teams need an offensive line coach, or would fire one to get Mike Munchak to come there. You say it's a good situation, though, is it? Because I could see why Chris Morgan, Bob, might have wanted to go to Chicago, where the quarterback is much younger, obviously, than what the Steelers dealt with, very mobile. The Steelers are in a position of uncertainty. They're in flux here a little bit. So I'm not so sure, especially given the fact that I think the talent level's kind of iffy across that line. I don't know if it's like this incredibly desirable job unless the Steelers are willing to cut Mike Munchak a very, very big check.
Well, it could be desirable if he comes in and all of a sudden things start turning around, and you got to believe that having Dan Moore for a second year would help Dan Moore. Same is true of Kendrick Green, and you got Dotson for a third year. You're going to go out and get some help. I'm almost sure of that, whether it's a free agent signing or a draft pick. So Munchak might look at the opportunity and say, hey, they were one of the worst teams in the league in terms of rushing the football. I can fix that, and it shouldn't take all that much. So, but he's always been comfortable here. He left here because he had an opportunity to be with his family out in Denver, and now that's changed. So this seems to be the most logical choice anyway.
I mean, there is part of me, Bob, that wants it to happen for one reason and one reason only, and that's so Andrew will stop freaking whining about it every day. Every time he can get a Mike Munchak reference in. Hey, Mike Munchak, hey, Mike Munchak this, Mike Munchak that. The only thing that it would be a hang-up for me about it is if Mike Munchak did a pretty good job, but the Steelers had a couple of 9 and 8 seasons, he would immediately, of course, then move on to calling for Mike Munchak to assume Mike Tomlin's role as head coach of the franchise. Other than my overall daily annoyance with hearing it constantly, I think it would probably be a very good move for the Steelers. Whether Mike Munchak wants to do it, well, we'll have to see.
We have a lot to talk about tonight. Rich was over there with Pitt, and he talked about Keaton Slovis, the new quarterback. We'll get into that a little bit. Talk about the Penguins, who've lost 4 in a row. Now they have an all-star break, and other stuff as well. It's all coming up. We want your opinions. Call us at 412-575-2600. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call right here on CW and 93.7 FM.